Hello guys, welcome back to another episode with Lady D. It's your girl Joshua Denise. Happy Christmas in advance to you all. If this is your first time of coming across my channel, you're so welcome and make yourself comfortable. Please don't forget to subscribe before leaving so that you can join the delicious family. Guys, today it's story time. I'm going to be bringing some memories of my childhood Christmas celebration. Yeah, it's just a recap of my childhood Christmas celebration. My childhood experience, I had them in two different areas. The first one was in Bolova, my primary school Christmas celebrations were in Bolova. And then Christmas really, I would say, compared to the one I experienced in my village, the one in the Bolova was kind of boring. Yeah, very boring compared to the one I had back in my village. In a Bolova when I was in primary school, and in my village when I was in secondary school. So the one in town was kind of boring, and the one in the village was very, very interesting. So why do I say boring? In a Bolova, or you say Bolova? In a Bolowa, Christmas was some sort of like during Christmas after church service, you come back home, you eat, and then you step out and stroll. You go and take pictures. That will go and visit from one house to the other. But in our home, it's not like we were prohibited from doing that, but we're not used to doing that. We're not comfortable going to people's houses. So after service, we come back, prepare food and eat. Then we go out, take pictures, and that was it. But there's this particular one around 2 in the afternoon. It's dancing time, and there was this children's place where kids come and dance. So you pay 100 francs to enter and dance. And every Christmas or New Year celebrations were sent to, like, after eating and everything, our parents would give us money, like to go and pay and dance. They put that stamp so that in case you go out of the gate and you're coming back in, your stamp will show that you already paid for your entrance. If you are dancing and you feel like you want to go out and buy something and eat something, you obviously, when coming back, you have to show your stamp before entering the dance hall. So immediately they put your stamp and you're with someone that doesn't have money to pay. Immediately they put your stamp, you can step out and stamp it on your friend's hand or the person's hand. Then it will, like, since the stamp is still fresh, when you stamp it, it goes to your friend's palm too. And the two of you guys, the two people will enter now and dance. Okay, the funny part of this story is that when we enter to dance, we were kids. If a boy wants to dance with you, he pays you. Yeah, everybody's trying to have a dance partner. It was not easy. Everyone's trying to get someone to dance with, and if you don't have money, because even to get that 100 francs to pay for entrance fee was not easy. As in, many kids will come there and just stand at the entrance because they don't have money to pay. So that's one of the funniest childhood memory I have about spending or celebrating Christmas in Eborova. The rest, it has really been boring because that was the only activity that I could participate in as a child. Now in my village, that's Banso, Christmas starts on the 1st of December. That's when you start feeling that Christmas is around. People are cleaning their homes, looking, because we cook with firewood, fetching firewood every day and stocking in the house. In fact, it's just so interesting. We start preparing for Christmas activities immediately. December clocks, like 1st of December, because I was very active in my church, in my congregation. I was very, very active. We start preparing for memory verses, Christmas songs, Christmas dramas to act, the birth of Christ. There was always the birth of Christ. We used to act. It was always acted. It was always staged. The birth of Christ was a sure thing. Like, even if you don't have any other sketch or any other drama or whatsoever to stage, the birth of Christ was a sure fact. You see different groups preparing for their special numbers. Like, it was just so fun and so nice. We start preparing from the church preparations to personal and home, different preparations at home. Like, you feel that atmosphere is different. It's so different. You see, even grandparents, everybody's just they call it kishimensi. Like, everybody just wants to take part in an activity, in a Christmas activity, especially in church. A beautiful experience in the village. I will not lie to you. If you have never experienced Christmas in your village, try one day and go to the village. You will feel it's so different from Christmas in town. Like, really different. From the first day we start preparations, we start looking for what you cook. And in the village, one funny thing is that during Christmas, like the Christmas day itself, it's all rice everywhere. Be it jollof rice, be it painted jollof rice, be it rice and stew and meat. It's like, the village is not that developed like town, so some kids actually have the opportunity to eat meat just on Christmas. Yes, it's not like it's a lie. Some kids actually have the opportunity to eat meat and rice just on Christmas. Others don't even prepare food in their house because they don't have the means, but just the fact that they will go to people's houses and eat rice and meat brings us so much joy in them. Worst of it is when you have maybe your fried popcorn, chin chin. You're the richest person in the village, and everybody just wants to come to your house for Christmas celebration. So in church, we take part in so many activities. The birth of Christ, Mary, Mary, you were born a child. How can that happen? By the power of the Lord. Then Mary will live to visit. Elizabeth will be like, Mary, Mary, when I greeted you, the child in my womb jumped up with joy. Like, it was so nice. And since I was very active in church, I was always in most of all of the things we're staging. The dramas, the plays we're staging in church. We stage it on the 24th. The 24th is like Christmas itself. Go to church around 6 p.m. That's where we do all our dramas, all our sketches. End part where actually the drama is is it a drama? The sketch is coming to an end. It's where when Anna will say she has the baby Jesus. She's like, I am Anna. The Lord can now take away my life because my eyes have seen the Savior. And then she will give this song. Virgin Mary firstborn is born today. Let us rejoice. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. When she gives that song like that, boom, the whole church dance on tea. And we'll leave the church maybe around 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. So when you leave the church at that time, 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., when we get back home, before we're reaching home, because my grandmother's compound was full of kids, like my cousins and I were so many in the house. So our home was not far from church. It was kind of, but not that far. So when we leave and we're going back, they used to call our congregation the congregation of Yaijing. Yaijing was my quarter where I lived in the village, because when my grandmother's kids, they leave for church, it's like half of the church, and all of us were so active in church activities. If there's one thing I am grateful to God for, is for the life of my grandmom, because that woman impacted us spiritual wise so much. My grandmother was a Christian, and she would not leave anybody behind. Like, she carried us along. The church was a church of my grandmother's kids, her grandkids. Like, I would even say my grandmother's kids are not even like church. It's just of recent that my mom went for readmission and started going back to church. But my uncles and aunts, same thing. But us, the grandchildren, like my cousins and I, the way we embraced religion, Christianity and Presbyterian church, it was all about us in my congregation. Like, when you hear Presbyterian church SOP, half of the church is my grandmother's kids, and that's how we're active. Like, we took part in everything in church. They could always see us. If it's not in this church, my cousin is on the drums, and we were so active in church. That's what made me enjoy my village experience about Christmas, because just taking part in the different activities, then see people slaughtering cows from here and there in different Jangi slaughtering cows. My mom would send money, because we always have rice stocked in the house. Like when we were leaving from Eborova to go to the village for school, my mom would stock us with food. We hardly, or I will not say never, because there are moments that we really did not have food, like this rice and stuff like that. But there was food for in the village, especially bansowe, corn, food, potatoes, but we always have rice and stuff like that. So during Christmas period, my mom would send us dresses and our money to celebrate Christmas, maybe to buy fish, meat, and other things. So before leaving, when we leave the church, even before reaching the house, from the church to our house, everybody must know that it's Christmas. We are singing and dancing till we reach the house. When we reach the house now, we bring our buckets and pots. Bring our buckets and pots. We start singing, clapping, dancing in the compound. And our compound was very big. We'll make noise until you see midnight, 1 o'clock. We start cooking. We'll just sleep like for 2 hours. And in the morning, we're already up to finish the cooking so that we go to church on time. So Christmas service, very interesting. There's some selected special numbers will still represent or will still present their special numbers, and the congregation will farote. You know that in a village, when they farote like that, that's much money. That farotage like that, yeah, the richest person in the village. So it was so fun. Then after Sunday service, we go back to our houses. And it has been the same. Like very few of my cousins will really leave the house to go to other people's houses. Then my sisters, my siblings, and I, like my direct sibling, my elder sister and my kid sister, we will hardly go. We don't even go anywhere. We always stay because we are used to. In fact, in our house now, walking and going to people's houses is something that is very difficult for us. So we'll just stay in our house and receive people that come and give them food, drinks, and stuff like that. And that's how Christmas comes. The same thing with New Year. So much celebration, so much fun. In fact, experience Christmas celebrations or festives in your village. You know the difference. It's so boring in town, like really boring. When I went to the village, my best one was Christmas periods, because I know that I would have fun. You take part in so many activities. Oh my god. Then the evening part, I'm forgetting the evening part, there's clubbing. At a certain age, I was not allowed to go. So when my sisters are going, and I'm like, really? My grandmom will say, Zilira, she used to call me Zilira. Zilira, you're not going anywhere. I remember one day I went. I want to see somebody come. I was my elder sisters, like my sister and my cousins, we went out together. I followed them. They refused. I followed them. I know I'm a big girl now. My grandmother refused. I said, okay, let me go and sleep. So when she went and slept now, I stepped out with my sisters. Not for me to sit. I'm enjoying and dancing. And then they'll come and call for me. As I'm stepping out like this, my grandmother is standing in front of the club with a bush lamp. Dilira, I don't enjoy it. Okay, how would I say? Dilira, you want to kill me this time? Yeah. I said, big mommy, this old me like that, I was in Form 2 or Form 3. What do you want me to be doing? See how people are going out and enjoying themselves. You don't want me. My mom was standing in front of the club with bush lamp looking for me. Point, like when I reached Form 4, started allowing me to go and give me time to come back. Like everybody will go, she has no problem with them. But Zilis, I don't know why my own things are always different. People always just, I don't even know. But Christmas period in the village is the best thing I ever experienced in my life. Like those are memories I will carry to my grave. Those are best memories for my Christmas period. Same thing with New Year. We have New Year Eve. We do pictures, celebration, prepare so much in church. We do. In fact, it's not even about what my memories are not even about the clubbing thing, because I hardly go clubbing too. But the most interesting thing was me taking part in all my church activities. If I am this strong spiritually, 50% or 70% of it goes to my grandmom, who showed us the right path. Before I even gave my life to Christ, I've been a Christian, but a strong Christian. Like I knew my values as a Christian. I knew what was right from what was wrong as a Christian because of my grandmom. When I left Eborova to the village for my secondary school studies, the values that woman put in me are the values I carry to today. So That's one thing I will always be grateful to God for letting me live with my grandmom. If not, my mom, while growing up, my grandmom used to tell us that while growing up, my mom was very active. Like, she was really active in church. She was the, how they call it, conductress of the children's choir. She was like, in fact, my grandmother is gifted because all her kids, it's just when we grow, maybe when you grow and you decide to depart away from God, but all her kids have taken part in church activities. Like, we know my grandmom and her kids and her grandkids because of church, and the whole village will know them because of church activities. So if I had stayed with my mom, I don't think I would be this, I would be who I am today, like spiritual wise. My grandmom gave me so much spiritual wise, so much that I would not even have gone halfway if I was with my mom. My mom had backslided already. She was no more going to church. So imagine me living with her. Though when I was with her in primary school, every Sunday she would bathe, she would give us transport, she would send us to church, but she would not follow us. She used to go to church like once a year, and that was on Christmas or New Year. But this time, the past 2 years, it's every Sunday. My mom doesn't miss church, which I am happy about that. But then, if Dilys can stand firm on the spiritual wise, then my grandmom played the greater part to it, and because of her, I am who I am today. So, what about Christmas memory do I have to share with you people? Child, can I enjoy Christmas as a child? Then you will never enjoy that again. Our best Christmas memories are when we are kids. I will not lie. Our best Christmas memory when you're already old, at this my age, I just know that Christmas is coming. I know what Christmas signifies. I know what it means. After maybe that day, going to church, coming back, sleeping. I don't even have time to say I'll entertain people. Nobody even has time to go, especially here in town. Nobody has time to be visiting from one place to the other. I just come back from church, I sleep, or I do my stuff. So maybe I film my video, and that will be it. But as a child, you are excited. You want to go and visit your friends. You're excited to wear new dresses. I don't remember the last time I bought a new dress because of Christmas. No. As a kid, you are excited. If your parents don't buy you new dresses, then you have not had Christmas. So, okay, I just remembered something. There's this thing too we used to do. Since my secondary school, we were shaving. We used to shave. So, December, Christmas period, you don't have hair, or you have very little, very short hair. And in the village, we had this thing called, they call it in my dialect, topoki. I don't know. It's one hair product. I don't know how they do it, but it's locally made. It's in such a way that when you apply it on your hair, before 5 minutes even much, if you don't wash it, it burns your hair. Like, it can burn your hair off. You can remove all your hair, because it did that to me once. So we'll buy it. You go and buy the one for 50 francs from the market. It's not much. Buy the one for 50 francs. Just come and put it on your, when you're putting your, and thank God in the village we have water, like free water everywhere. There's a stream beside my house. Then we have a tap and everything. So when you're applying the product on your hair, you're already standing beside water. After, when you're finishing with the when you're applying and finishing like that, immediately I wash, because that thing can pull off your head. I mean, it will remove your skull and your skin, everything, if you're not careful. Go and buy maybe your gel too, to style your hair. Gel for 50 francs. If you don't have money to buy gel, you use aloe vera and style your hair, and you're good to go for Christmas. Those are Christmas memories that I cherish so much. Like, I don't think I can ever forget any of them. I'll carry them right to my grave. Christmas in the village is the best experience I've had so far with this Christmas period. And then and we come to the end of our story. Thank you for watching this far. Please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to click on the notification button so that each time I bring up a video, you will be notified. It's your girl Jimshu Dilys, and I am signing out. Bye.